What's up guys, Ryan here from Mudgunner, and today I have some pretty cool guns to show you. So I am a big fan of the gray rifle or the gray man's rifle, and it kind of got me thinking, well, I do actually have some gray guns. So that's the theme of today's video, is just the gray guns that I have. If you're not familiar with like the gray man's gun, it's basically just like a low vis, low profile, conceal carry type gun. So hide in plain sight. And honestly, I mean, the Sig MCX here would be a really good option for that. But besides that, I mean, these are just gray guns. So I really like them. And yeah, I just wanted to show these cool guns to you today. So we'll start over here on the left with the Chris Vector. So this is a pretty cool pistol. This is legally classified as a pistol because it's got the brace, but besides that, the Chris Vector is normally a submachine gun full auto. This in select fire is absolutely fun to shoot because in full auto it fires extremely fast, and then it has a 2-round burst option, but when you pull the trigger it feels like you only fired 1 round, but it's like 2 rounds stacked on top of each other. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, this one is my Chris Vector chambered in 45. It is the Gen 2 enhanced. So it has a 6.5-inch barrel instead of the 5.5-inch, because they've had a few variations of this. So in 2017, I think is when the Gen 2s came out, but now this would be enhanced because it's got the extended rail, the 6.5-inch barrel instead of the 5.5-inch. But other than that, I mean, they're all pretty similar. The old style stocks or braces on them were different than these ones, because this one takes an AR buffer tube style. So if I were to buy a stock for this, it's not the iconic old school Chris Vector stock. But I like the brace on this one. I don't see myself SBRing this one, just because it is fun to shoot like this. And for me, it's just a fun gun. Like, I don't necessarily plan on putting a sling on this. I don't plan on putting a light on this. I really just enjoy shooting it for fun. I do have a suppressor on here. This is a Sig SRD 45 suppressor, because again, this is a 45 caliber gun. I'd like to get a 9mm one at some point too, and I'm thinking I would do that one in flat dark earth. But the gray is a really cool color, and you don't see them around anymore. I don't think they currently produce it. We have the 30-round Chris Vector extended mag. I got some Federal HSTs in there. The gun's not chambered, but I will clear it for you guys. I just put the magazine in there to look cool in the video, because it looks really good like this. When it's fully loaded, you have to like tap it in there. It does take standard Glock 21 mag, so you could put a 13-round mag in there and it'll sit flush, but it does look good like the extended magazine. But yeah, that's a Chris Vector in 45. These are the factory sights that it came with. I put a Sig Romeo 5 on here and then a Magpul AFG grip, so it kind of gives me something to hold on to. And then the one thing with these, anytime I've shot at like SHOT Show when I got to shoot the full auto ones, if you grab the mag well, you naturally press on the magazine release right here. So when I shot, I would apply pressure just from holding it, and your finger accidentally hits the mag release. So it's kind of in a weird spot. So I do think these shine with some type of grip on there. If you ran it as an SBR, you could put a vertical grip on there. But yeah, I do like it with the angled grip. And other than that, it's just a lot of fun to shoot, and it looks really cool. So again, Chris Vector 45, and it's got the 6.5-inch barrel. And then next up, we have one of my favorite 5.56 guns to shoot. This is a Sig MCX Verity, and this is an 11.5-inch barrel. This one is an SBR. It was a factory SBR, and it's got a Sig SRD 762 suppressor on here. So it's a quick detach 30 caliber suppressor, but this is 5.56. And with that can on there, it's pretty low back pressure. So I like it a lot. I love the color of the gray Verity. It just looks amazing to me. It's a very light gray. Sometimes pictures don't do it justice. Like, this Vector is really dark, and I really like how it looks. I don't know if it would look better being this dark on here, but the light gray is cool. But yeah, so what we've done to this one is, again, it was a factory SBR, so I didn't really do much internally. I did put a Radian charging handle on here. We have Magpul MBUS Pro flip-up sights. We have an EOTech EXPS 2.0. EOTechs are one of my favorite optics. We have a Cloud Defensive Rain Micro 2.0. And then we have a Viking Tactics gray padded sling on here. And then I have a Troy vertical grip. It's a metal one. And then some BCM rail panels on the sides and bottoms. And yeah, this is a really fun rifle to shoot. It's pretty low profile when you fold it and take the suppressor off. The suppressor does get stuck on here pretty good, and it's kind of annoying to take on and off. So I really just leave it on there. So this is basically the shortest configuration I would run it in, which it's a little long for a bag gun, but I mean, you could make it work. So yeah, the Verity, again, is just a really cool gun. It's chambered in 5.56. It's a piston-driven gun, so it runs pretty smooth. And yeah, it's just pretty buttery action. The triggers on these are pretty nice out of the box. So I think it's like a 4.5 pound trigger. It feels pretty light out of the box, but got a cool translucent Lancer mag here. But yeah, that is my gray Sig Verity. And then the last one I wanted to show you guys is another cool one. And honestly, I think this gray looks a little bit better than this one. It's just a shade darker. I don't know if the video is going to show it. But this is a Daniel Defense V11 in their Tornado Gray Cerakote. So Daniel Defense, I mean, everyone has their own version of different grays, but this is the Daniel Defense Tornado Gray color. These lights might wash it out a little bit, but it's better than just sitting in a dark room. So yeah, it's a 16-inch barrel rifle. It's got a key mod rail on here. It's kind of all covered with rail panels. On this one, we're also running an EOTech EXPS 2.0, but we also have a G33 magnifier on there. And then if I throw the magnifier to the side, I can flip up my rear sight, and then I got a front sight. These are also Magpul Imbus Pro sights. They're basically my favorite iron sight. And then for the light on this one, we're just running like a stream light on here. I don't know exactly what model, but then I have the Daniel Defense Picatinny light mount. So this is just a ring mount to put any type of light in there. And yeah, I just put this light on there like years ago, and it works pretty well. It's not like a super high lumen or high candela light. This is kind of meant for closer ranges, but this to me is just another fun range gun. Honestly, it doesn't get out that often, but I do like it. I have a bunch of Daniel Defense rifles, but I shoot some of my other ones a little bit more. We have a BCM key mod, like angled grip on here, or angled vertical grip. I forget who makes this rail section, or the rail cover right here. Yeah, I forgot. I bought these used at our store, but they just look really good on the gun. And then we have some BCM key mod rail panels on there as well. The trigger on here is a Timney trigger DH3, so their Daniel Horner 3-gun trigger. It is extremely light. I think it's like a 2.5-pound trigger. It is so light, it's crazy. But we're also running a Radian charging handle on here, and then just the factory Daniel Defense safety selector, and then the factory Daniel Defense furniture. Sling-wise, we have a Magpul MS4 in the gray color, and yeah, I like Magpul slings as well. But yeah, I mean, these are all my gray guns. If I could pick a couple more, there are 2 gray guns that I would really like to add to the collection. The first one is the Shadow Systems MR920 Damascus, and that one basically has a gray frame and then like a Damascus and black slide. It looks super sick. You should go check it out. Again, it's the Shadow Systems MR920 Damascus. And then the other option that I'd like to get is a Glock 19 Gen 5 with the gray frame. Not the gray Cerakote. I've seen some gray Cerakote guns, but they actually have a gray molded frame that comes with gray magazines as well. I think that would be super cool because I feel pretty content with the rifles here. There's no gray rifles that I can think of off the top of my head that I want, but I just really want those 2 handguns. They're basically both Glock 19 style pistols because the Shadow Systems and the Glock are the exact same size. I just like them both. So at some point I plan on adding one or both of those to my collection, but for now I'm just really happy that I got the gray rifles I have. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you're a fan of gray rifles too. I know they're not as common. I love flat dark earth rifles, but gray looks super sick too. Just not as practical. But yeah, thank you guys for watching and stay tuned for my next video.